For the past 12 days, the war between Iran, Israel, and the United States has continued to escalate, with no clear end in sight. Iran has disrupted oil exports moving through the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical energy routes. As a result, global oil prices have crossed $100 a barrel after 4 years, sending shockwaves through energy-dependent economies. In India, LPG shortages are beginning to affect households, industries, and even schools and hostels that rely on daily cooking fuel. So, how did a conflict in the Middle East end up disrupting everyday life in India? Let's break down how this situation unfolded. India is the second largest importer of LPG in the world. Every year, the country consumes around 32 million tons of LPG, but only about 13 million tons are produced domestically. That means nearly 60% of India's LPG supply depends on imports. Most of this fuel comes from the Gulf, particularly Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and Qatar. And these shipments travel through one critical choke point, the Strait of Hormuz. But with Iran tightening control over this 20-kilometer wide passage, fewer ships are able to pass through, putting a major portion of India's LPG supply at risk. And as the situation escalates, the government of India has been forced to take urgent steps to manage the crisis. So, what exactly is the government doing to keep the country's fuel supply running? Let's take a closer look. The first step taken by the government was issuing the Natural Gas Control Order under the Essential Commodities Act, 1955. Under the new system, consumers are placed into priority categories. The highest priority is given to domestic PNG, CNG, and LNG supplies, ensuring that households and essential transport services continue to receive fuel. The next priority goes to the fertilizer sector, followed by industries and refineries, which will now receive reduced supply compared to their normal consumption levels. At the same time, the government is trying to diversify India's energy sources. New procurement efforts have begun with countries like the United States, Norway, Canada, Algeria, and Russia to reduce dependence on the Gulf. Meanwhile, India is also in diplomatic talks with the leadership of Iran. As a result of these negotiations, two LPG tankers have already managed to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. But as long as tensions continue between Iran, Israel, and the United States, the Strait of Hormuz will remain one of the most fragile points in the global energy system. And for countries like India, which depend heavily on imported energy, disruptions in a narrow waterway thousands of kilometers away can quickly turn into economic pressure at home. Because in today's interconnected world, geopolitics and everyday life are far more connected than they appear.